Hey, look, in this video, I'm going to be showing you one of the no BS ways to actually scale an agency and get there as fast as possible, right? I've done this with countless businesses for other people as well. Myself, I scaled my real estate agency this year to 40 grand a month. And after doing it, things seem a lot less complicated than it really should. So I'm going to be walking you through one, how to properly set and then achieve the goal, because setting the goal properly is going to make you achieve it, actually executing on that. And again, how to get there faster than 99% of agency owners. There's a lot of people that get stuck in analysis paralysis in the agency game. They think it's too overwhelming and they don't know what to execute on first. And this is the first step of achieving any goal with a business, is actually identifying what you need to do and what you even want in the business, right? Like, is this business set out to make your first 10 grand a month, right? Or like 50 or 100? Do you want to do this the rest of your life? Because if you just want to sign a few clients and make some money and then just go to a job, your identification and everything relating to that is going to be different. And that gets to my second point, which is actually executing. So these are the two steps to, again, setting and achieving goals. The execution part is honestly what most people screw up on when they're building an agency, because they don't have the industriousness, they don't have the discipline. They can't follow through on what they actually promise themselves, because a lot of people promise themselves things and they really just don't follow through with anything they do. They say they're going to wake up at a certain time and they don't do it. And then eventually small little things and these small little promises that they're saying to themselves always get broken. I know a year and a half ago when I was starting off in the business game, it's a side of personal development, all of this. You really cannot follow through on exactly what you say you're going to do. And that's a skill that you need to build and a habit you need to form. Because eventually you're going to have enough faith in yourself when you actually set out to achieve something, and actually you're going to execute on it for once. If you've watched this channel, you know that getting to six figures is one offer, right? It's one channel and one product or service. This is six figures. This is probably your goal if you're watching this video. If you clicked on this video, you need to set and achieve a goal. Your goal is probably six figures. It's probably to make 10, 15, 20 grand a month, right? And this right here, simplifying it down, is really going to do that. All right, I got to six figures by doing this exact thing. One offer, which is lead gen for real estate. Even more micro here, it's going to be one niche as well, right? So you have to keep that in mind. One channel is like cold calling, cold DMs, cold email, or even ads or content. You're going to pick one of those, right? To give more context on a channel, I'm not going to go too much into this because I've talked about this so much, but you're going to pick probably a cold outreach channel to start. Cold outreach is the DM, it's the email, it's the cold calling. It's pitching people you don't know, or even warm outreach, right? Very similar, but the big benefit of doing anything not relating to ads or content is you can see instant results without spending thousands of dollars. Right? To do cold outreach, you need maybe a Go High Level subscription. If you can't even afford Go High Level to do cold calling or cold email or whatever you need to do, you can just do it on your phone, right? I bet if you're watching this, you have a phone or a computer that you can download a $1 Skype number and start calling. So that's going to be your first option. It's just literally finding one channel. One product is going to be a pain point, right? What are they struggling with? So again, real estate agents don't have time to run ads. Roofers don't have time to run ads. Landscapers don't have time to run ads. Maybe some info product owners don't have time to write copywriting for their own business. Like, these are just random examples, but a lot of pain points can be solved with just making them more money, really. And as long as the niche that you pick is staying the same or even better, growing all the time, they have some money to invest to pay you for your product and pay you on commission or pay you on the upfront price, whatever you charge. It's a good niche, and you can solve a pain point and get paid in accordance to that skill that you're providing them, right? And the thing with the product as well, you're probably going to suck in the beginning. The number one focus after acquiring your first client, or even before you acquire your first client, is really going to be researching the hell out of the skill that you're providing. And skills can be Facebook ads, could be Google ads, could be copywriting. Like I said, it could be cold calling, could be building a team for someone, it could be hiring sales rep for this person. These are all examples of skills. Something that's rare and can add value to someone. And I'm putting this in unbelievably simplistic terms because this is what it really comes down to. And each skill really comes down to a bunch of micro skills, right? So it's going to be micro steps. Like, let's say a skill, Facebook as an example. It's going to be targeting. It's going to be retargeting. It's going to be copy. It's going to be creatives. And all these skills, these are what matters. You can say you're good at Facebook ads, but if you can't talk about what goes into building a campaign, You probably suck at it. So the micro skills here are exactly what people don't want to do. And you're saving them time, you're making them more money, and you're going to use Alex Hormozi's value equation for nearly everything you're doing here, by the way. When you're providing a service, you're going to do the dream outcome, you're going to do how much risk is involved, so you're going to have a guarantee, and this is just basic offer creation. I've done multiple videos on this. Now, you're probably saying, this all sounds fun and games, but you're on the surface level and you need to get in the numbers, right? And this is the second step of the identification, right? And it's going to be coming down to breaking down the exact numbers of cold outreach, of the ads you need to run, or whatever the hell you're doing in order to get those clients that you need. And the clients obviously are going to contribute to you getting the goal you need and actually hitting the goal. So this is a bit tricky, right? Because with this video, I would love to give you a solidified number in place that you need to do 300 cold calls, 200 cold calls, or 500, or whatever the hell. And I can give you some basic benchmarks. And if you're starting off in an agency, I can tell you that 250 to 300 cold calls, if you do those consistently, and I tell people to do this, and the people who actually do it hit their first 10 to 15 grand a month, because you're getting better so damn quickly with the cold calls that you're going to beat the competition so fast just because you're getting so good at them. And you're going to have so many sales calls that you can't even believe it. Again, with some niches, there's exceptions to this, where some niches, there's cold DMs that work better, there's cold email that work better, but cold calling is one of the foolproof ways to at least get your first few appointments. And if you find a different channel that works, perfect. But cold calling is going to be the best. And essentially what you do is you need data first to make any decision in business. So you're always going to act on data and never emotion. And you want to be emotional. When I was starting off, it was always emotional things I really shouldn't have been emotional about. And that was honestly something I needed to learn really quick. I needed to tame down my emotions and how I reacted to things to actually make the proper decisions I need to make, right? And you have to realize you need that brute force volume to start with those 250, 300 cold calls. And from that feedback on actually executing on those cold calls, you can start getting numbers like booking rates, pitch rates, the pickup rate, and all these things that really, really matter. And then you can actually solidify a number that you need to do every single day as a goal. Because when we're setting goals, if you're going to take something away from this video, you need an input goal and not an output goal. It's one of the most important things ever, because so many people do output goals and they don't rearrange the inputs. They don't reverse engineer the inputs from the output. And the input is what's going to get you there. You won't get jacked by just thinking about a goal and considering the output and not lifting weights in the gym. It's not going to happen. That would be a miracle, right? But that's just not how it works. And throughout your business, you'll be consistently getting the feedback from the inputs you're putting in and making whatever skill you're doing better. If you run some ads, you get feedback. You make the ads better. If you do some cold calls, you get some feedback. You make the cold calls better. And this is just how it's going to go all the time. And then eventually, if you have these numbers in place where it's like, if I do 100 cold calls, I get 5 appointments, you then go, hey, look, my closing rate's 20%. I'm going to close 1 in 5. I now need to do 100 cold calls to get 1 client. Right? And that's a very simplified example. But if we're talking about setting goals, you're going to set the input goal of how many cold calls it takes to get a client, how many cold calls it takes to book an appointment. And these are all going to be done by averages. There's always going to be exceptions on some days, but you need to at least have a mean. You need to at least have an average where you need to do X amount to get X amount. And as soon as I started doing that in my business, things skyrocketed because I had a tangible thing to go off of every single time I sat down to do work. And I know that if I make this video, X amount of people are going to watch it. And from that, X amount of people are going to join my community. And then I can provide more value. People are going to join the coach calls. And I know these numbers, I have them all in spreadsheets. Same with your business. Business all comes down to numbers. And it all comes down to averages, and you make your decisions off that. And now there's going to be the second step, which is actually the execution here. Right, so we just talked about identification. We're going to pick one off for one channel, one product. Off the pain point, we're going to build the skill. We're going to pick one niche, and you'll get to 6 figures off of one of each. Then you're going to reverse engineer the numbers. In summary, you get all that most likely, and I hope you do. And if not, just review the video. Secondly, it comes down to executing, and this is the easy part. The identification is the easy part. Right, and I got to some advanced things there, but it's going to be much easier just sitting down and wiring some numbers on a calculator rather than sitting down and cold calling for hours, doing DMs for hours, and these things that are really annoying. So the execution is the hardest part. You're probably wondering, if it's the hardest part, how to make it easier, and that's exactly what I'm going to try to help you with. I'm going to have one tip for execution. It's going to be removal, and you're like, what the hell does that mean? You're going to remove everything from your life that does not contribute to this. the cold calls daily, the DMs daily, the sales calls. And people now find that if they have 3 hours of cold calling to do, everything in their life has to put on hold, right? So you're going to sacrifice your social media on your phone, right? I don't have social media. These last 2 weeks, I haven't had social media because I'm going into a period where I need to do 3-4 hours of recordings for SOPs every day and trainings that I have to teach people, Q&As. And these periods come all the time, and I'm in one right now. I can tell you that if I had social media and I was going on my phone every single day in the morning, right, I'm not going to do the work I need to do, right? So IG, you're going to say YouTube, you're going to say Reels, right, TikTok. If you have any of these, you need to get rid of them. Like, get rid of them entirely. It's a distraction, right? If you're going to parties, all this BS, right? Like, it's so self-explanatory, but just removing the things you need to remove will make this, the execution, easier. As a result, you will hit the goal because you will identify the inputs, you will execute on the inputs, and it's going to be a consistent iteration all the time between these two things, right? Like, identification, execute, and you'll get more and more and more data from the cold calls. You get more and more and more data from the sales calls, and you'll keep doing that over and over and over. That's how you hit your goal. And then there's an equation by Alex Ramosi. It says more, better than new. I use this for ads. I use this for cold calls. I use this for cold email. I use it for content, what I'm doing here, right? You guys like these whiteboard videos, it seems, so I'm doing more, right? And eventually, if I keep getting positive feedback on these videos, I'm going to go to the better column, where I'll upgrade my microphone, get a better camera, get a better computer. I'll script it more. I'll make it better. I'll double down on what's working, and I only knew that it was working from doing more videos. Then let's say you guys are asking for something. Ask for an IRL video or something. I'll try the new. Then if you guys like the day in the lives, if you like the X video that you suggested, I'll do more. See how this is a repeating cycle. And this is how you get better. More, better, new, more, better, new. Same for cold calling, same for content, same for ads. Anything relating to feedback, you're going to use this equation. I'll use one more example and I'll move to the next point. Cold call scripting. You're going to do more cold calls with a script if you've never done them before to get the numbers and the feedback from that. From there, you're going to try to make it better. How can I make my tonality better? How can I make my script better? How can I say this word better? How can I learn this objection handle? You're going to make it as good as possible. You're going to get the numbers from that. You probably have some solid numbers, but you want to get better. Try a new script. I'm going to try rewriting this whole line and seeing how the response rate on this one line of cold calls does. Oh, it went up 2%. New. Then make it better. Then make it new again. Then do more. Then better. Then new. More. Better. New. I'm just going to tell you, right, from all of this, feedback is going to be the best thing, right? So it comes down to these things. Execution. Then there's feedback. And this is like any part of your business, you're going to execute. And you're going to get feedback. Then you're going to execute, get feedback. And this will be infinite. It will be absolutely infinite, right? So this is how you improve in anything. Execution, feedback. Today I was recording myself at the gym because something fell off about my form. Now I taped it. I realized I was standing too much back when I was doing my pushdowns. I executed pushdowns. I got feedback on it, and now I'm making it better. And hey, hell, look, you can probably use more, better, new at the gym. You probably use it in many things in your life, more, better, new. But hey, look, I just want you to take away, there's two things in this that actually contribute to hitting your goals. The identification. What do I need to do to get this output? What inputs do I need to put in? Next thing, how do I make it as easy as possible for me to actually put in the work of the input I need to get to my output eventually? And then you have daily inputs, 300 cold calls, 2 videos, 5 ads, whatever the hell your input is. You now have that in stone that as long as you do that, you'll get to your goal because you have the averages. You know, if you do 300 cold calls, you get 5 appointments. You can guess this, and you only did that from executing, getting feedback, recording the numbers, and looking at this all the time and using more, better, new. So, hey, look, if you guys want to get in my group where it's a lot more stuff, we're at 1.9K members now. That's amazing. But hey, look, there's all this in here. If you want to get over 3 hours of training of free stuff, I don't even need your phone number. Join that. It'll be in the description, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed these videos. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later. Goodbye.